Greetings everyone and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video I am going to explain why I can't be a Christian. And the easy answer for that is I'm not a fucking idiot. There is one thing that I want to point out right from the start of this. This troll, and they are a troll, they're blocked and so forth because of things that are in here. But the way they start is an admission that very few Christians will actually make. I see the amount of passion built in his anger. They could be used to glorify you. Within that shows the narcissistic nature of the God this person believes in. Everything is about the God. Everything has to be about His glory. Fuck what you want. Fuck what you do. It's all about the God. It's all for His glory and fuck you. That's narcissistic. But they actually use a word that most Christians don't do when they're talking about my videos. Most will just say, I'm angry. But they actually admitted that there is passion in what I'm saying. And the reason that there is passion in what I'm saying is the passion comes from how much I care about people and how deeply offended I am at the ideas in the Bible and in Christianity. He goes on to say, please don't allow this one to perish in the lake of fire. Christians, who is it that came up with the idea of burning people in fire? The God of the Old Testament in Jeremiah 32:35 called burning children in fire a sin and an abomination and something that never entered its mind. The only one in the entire Bible to advocate for people going to a place of hellfire is your Lucifer Jesus. The reason I call him Lucifer Jesus, I have explained in other videos. Lucifer means morning star, and the only person in the entire Bible to admit they are the morning star is Jesus. And the message that is in the Bible, supposedly from Jesus, is, to use the term, satanic. Jesus wants to be God. Lucifer, or Satan, wanted to be God. Satan simply means an adversary. I contend Jesus is so much worse. Then he says, as we see your prophecies become fulfilled more and more every day. If you believe that there is prophecy, take your free will, roll it up into a nice ball, and chuck it in the garbage. Because if prophecy exists, that means the future is determined. Your choices mean nothing. You can't change the future. You can't do anything that this God didn't decide beforehand would happen. So the idea that you have free will is an illusion, because we don't know the future. And if God is all-knowing and all-powerful, every choice you think you're making, it actually made for you. And you're just being a little puppet on a string, made to dance how it wants you to. But then he goes on to say, I have so many forces fight me on this prayer. My phone crashed. Satan did not want me to pray for this one. That could be because 8 years ago on this channel, I made a video where I titled it, Do Not Pray for Me. Excuse me. The thing is, let's talk about prayer for a second, especially towards someone that doesn't think like you do. Prayer is religious rape. What this person is trying to do is use their magic words to cast a spell to magically change the thoughts that I have to make it how he wants. Not only is it religious rape, it is black magic, because it is an attempt to subvert my free will, my choice, and have it all be about what he wants, what the Christian wants. Fuck what anyone else wants. What the Christian wants is all that matters. And that gets into the narcissism aspect. Raises the question, is it the God that's the narcissist, or is it Christianity that breeds narcissism? I'll let you make that decision later in this video. Then, do not allow yourself to be deceived by the great deceiver. You only fuel him by posting things like this, my brother. Number one, you're not my brother. Number two, even if you want to be a Hulk Hogan wannabe, I have no desire to even talk to someone like this. Then we get into some of the stupidity from this person. Well, some more of the stupidity, I should say. When I was 13, I dwelled in drugs for years. I dwell in a house. I don't know how you dwell in drugs. It may be that he meant dealt drugs. The thing is, then where he says about, I was thrown in prison, my wife turned against me, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, it's all about him. Poor me, poor me, poor me. I have absolutely no sympathy for this individual. Then Satan is using you, or if you read what's actually there, the Satan is using you. There is no evidence a Satan exists. Point blank. But now I'm going to get into the aspect of the 5 characteristics of narcissism. Brace yourselves, Christians. Number 1, inflated ego. Those who suffer from narcissism usually see themselves as superior to others. Their sense of self relies on setting themselves apart from the crowd. They will take purposeful steps in order to make sure they remain on top. These types of people tend to strive to be the best, most accomplished, and beyond competent in their field. It's not unusual for them to be highly successful professionals. They also exhibit this tendency in their personal relationships. They need to be right, to have the last word, to always be in control. It's also possible for narcissists to shift this need for superiority to something negative. If they are experiencing difficulties or feel emotionally wounded, their situation suddenly becomes the worst. No one else's suffering compares. Number 2, lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to see things from another's point of view. A key characteristic of narcissism is the lack of this ability. Narcissists only see things from their view. Their feelings and comfort are of most importance. These folks tend to think that others are only capable of feeling or seeing things in the exact same way as they do. It doesn't occur to them that other perspectives may exist. They often lack remorse due to this trait. Number 3, need for attention. Remember that big ego of the narcissist? Well, it must constantly be fed by others. They look outside themselves for validation. These individuals will soak up praise and affirmation whenever possible. If they aren't receiving the approval they seek, they will create scenarios in order to elicit it. It's not unusual for a narcissistic individual to ask those around them countless questions in order to keep the attention focused on them, or to create unnecessary drama for that purpose. Number 4, repressed insecurities. The person with narcissism often feels deep insecurity of some sort at their core. It's these insecurities that are the cause for the attention-seeking behavior and the inflated ego. Such insecurities can play out in a number of ways, most of which are rarely healthy. Their underlying fear, anxiety, and shame leads them to seek excessive control in all situations. They rarely display vulnerability and tend to see things in black and white terms. Something is either entirely good or it's a complete failure. Number 5, few boundaries. Narcissists have a hard time respecting boundaries. The line between themselves and others is blurred. They see themselves as being entitled to everything. These folks will frequently use manipulative tactics, such as demanding, pouting, gaslighting, or tricking to obtain the means to their end. Narcissists find it incredibly insulting to be told no. Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition that wreaks havoc on relationships. Those dealing with narcissism, both the narcissist and the people around them, tend to have lives filled with much chaos. If that doesn't scream the God of the Bible, nothing will. But then we have this stupidity from this individual. And it shows me they really don't know jack shit about me. Because they start off with, you are. You is a vowel, are is a consonant. You are is not a word. That's just lazy and ignorant. But then he quotes something with Jesus, and it really it was something I knew he missed the context immediately. And to try this with someone like me really shows this person doesn't know me. If you're gonna quote the Bible at me, make sure you get it fucking right. Because I've showed where you can download the eSword Bible. I've done videos on how to use it. I regularly explain how I do what I do with it, with looking things up and so forth. But what he quotes, I'm going to read it first and then I'm going to show it to you in the Bible. Jesus warned all, saying, to one who has hurt one of the little ones. It would have been better if they would have tied a weight around the neck and tossed into the sea. Christians accuse Satan of distorting and twisting the Bible. What this individual did is nothing short of distorting and twisting the Bible, because he left out the key part of that. But those who shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it would be better for him that a millstone were hanged around his neck and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. This is not about pedophiles, as they tried to claim. This is about Jesus making everything about him. Notice, it is the little ones which believe in me. It's not about pedophiles. Jesus doesn't give fuck all about that. And to try and act like pedophiles are just Catholic priests. No, they're just the most well publicized in the media. But there are Christians of all stripes that have abused children in that way. But this gets into what I call Jigsaw Jesus. And it raises an interesting point when it says, if thy hand or foot offend thee, cut it off, and cast them from thee, for it is better to enter into life maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into the lake of fire. So Christians, well, let me go to the next verse. If thine eye offend thee, pluck it out. You see why I call this Jigsaw Jesus? Cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with 1 eye rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire. Christians, if somebody has an injury in their life where they lose a limb, lose a finger, lose an eye, does that mean their soul or spirit, whatever the fuck that is going to be missing that limb or that finger or that eye? If you say yes, well, that would make an afterlife awfully fucking shitty. If no, then Jesus was making shit up. Which is it? If someone gets maimed in life, are they maimed for an eternity? In an afterlife too? Or was Jesus fucking lying? Using scare tactics to try and get people to buy into his horse shit. The thing is, then they go on to do the you're a very angry person. What happened to that passion? That, remember, over here it was, I see the amount of passion built in his anger, and then all of a sudden you're a very angry person. What happened to passionate? Did the passion suddenly go away? What, because it didn't fit the narrative? Didn't fit what you wanted? But he doesn't understand you are. It's grammar. The difference between knowing your shit and knowing your shit. But it gets even funnier. Check out the word in red. The fact you made a video, which, really? I made a video, WITCH? I don't think I made a video about a witch. And then I admit I didn't watch BC. What, before Christ? You didn't watch it before? I didn't think you were alive back then. Oh, BC, you mean because you're a lazy shit. I don't pollute my ears with such. Oh, you don't pollute your ears with evidence? Facts? Is that what you don't pollute your ears with? Anyway. And to call him mentally ill, yeah, that's the least of the things that I would call this individual. The thing is, if you don't understand basic grammar and you're going to try using vowels or consonants as words, I'm just going to fucking ignore you. I'm not lazy. When I type something, I will never use the vowel U for YOU. If you're really that interested in saving 2 keystrokes, don't even waste your time, because I will have no time for you. And you are that. To me, that's worse than getting the you're wrong. Because you are is just effing stupid. The thing is, I can't go along with Christianity because either it is about a narcissistic God, or it is about Christians being the narcissist. Either way, it's all about narcissism and trying to have it that everything has to be kissing your ass. Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Later, people.